Let me get everybody notified on this one. Live now, listening to Trump, and I want you to hear the interview I just did with Dewey. All right, I got everybody notified. All right. Okay, first thing I want us to do is I'm fixing to get back on the road. I've got an hour's drive. So I want us to hear Trump. Hold on a second. Let's see if, let's go to the White House. Okay, here we go. This is Trump today delivering words from the White House. If I can get it queued up. And then I've got an interview I want you guys to hear. I interviewed Dewey riding down the road. I recorded it, so I want you to hear the recording.
You know, people...
All right, here we go.
It wasn't a pretty picture. Get up and start making a magnificent speech, and she'd be standing in mud, and she'd say, I wrote Mr. Roses, this is a...
All right, here we go. Remember, he just came out with the aliens today. All right, here we go. Thank you, Lord, for angels being around me as I drive. In Jesus' name, amen. I always pray before I go. Beautiful day here in Tennessee today. All right, here we go.
And then right from the beginning, it's Lee Greenwood, and it's been a great tribute to all of us. Why don't we sit down? We've got plenty of time, right? Special people, very special people, and I hope you like what we're doing. Did everybody get to see the Presidential Walk of Fame? Right?
Presidential Walk of Fame,
huh? Some of your least favorite presidents. Some were good, some were great, some were terrible, but that's the way life goes, right? And you notice the roses. This is a rose garden, and we added a lot of roses. I will tell you, this was a rose garden that didn't have too many roses, and if you look now, we cornered the market on roses, and you deserve them. So thank you for being with us in this beautiful, very famous rose garden. It's been famous for a long time. They let it get a little bit out of control, but now it's brought back to the highest level. And you know, where you're standing or sitting right now is white stone, and that was grass. And the problem with it is you couldn't walk on it because this is built on a wetland, and the grass was always soaking wet. It didn't matter. It was always soaking wet, absolutely. And so when Brooke Rollins would get up and start making a magnificent speech, and she'd be standing in mud, and she'd say, "I ruined my shoes." Her speeches would never be as good as they could have been because she was always concerned about ruining her shoes. But people would come here, women would come with the high heels, and it wasn't a pretty picture. So after said, let's build it so we can use it, and now we have. It's nice and it's cool. The white reflects the sun, so you don't know that. Although it does go in my eye right now, I noticed. I didn't anticipate that, but it's a great place. It's a great place, and we do news conferences. We do everything, and right up here, you probably noticed the new black granite, and it's been so well received. People can't
black
believe it, because the stones were all broken and really in bad disrepair.
Wow.
And it's really become great. And we added the pictures of the presidents from George Washington to a guy named Trump, and people really, they've loved it. We call it the Presidential Wall of Fame or Walk of Fame. We say you can call it either. Do you like walk or wall? Ready? Walk, Presidential Walk of Fame. Presidential Wall of Fame. Same. That's the same. I would call that a tie. But I want to thank you all for being here. It's amazing. The weekend we celebrate Mother's Day, honoring the women who raised us and all of the wonderful mothers in our lives for millions of American families. Sunday will be filled with love and gratitude and joy. I had a great mother, by the way. And today we're honored to be joined by many strong and truly heroic moms who have stood up for their children, both in life and in a very profound loss, very, very terrible in many, just terrible loss in many cases. And we have a lot of the greatest people on earth, angel moms. They're with us today. They're great people. They've been through so much, and
Angel moms.
I got to know so many of you during my first days of running. I got to know you and I got to love you. But I got to know you and I got to...
Hey, I'll tell you what, since I've got you guys on here, let me pause the YouTube video, and I'm going to play you the interview right now. It's only 9 minutes long, and then after the video we'll go back to Trump. But the main thing I wanted you guys to hear is this interview. Alright, let me get it pulled up real quick. Alright, here we go. All right, everybody, I am interviewing the one and only Dewey. All right.
Hey, Dr. Jim, how you doing?
Doing good, sir. I'm so excited to be with you. How long has it been? 6 months or what?
Yeah, about 6 months or so.
Yeah. Well, what is the latest that you hear going on? You said you got a job, you travel all over the country now. So I imagine you're hearing a lot of stuff. What was you saying about the weather?
Yeah, I've been, I work with a major 500 company, and I do inspections all over the country, a lot of military and Air Force bases.
Yeah.
And, but in general, I keep up with the weather because I have 4 different apps that keep live time of what's going on with weather-wise across the U.S. And the last 16 years, this last year, the hail has been bigger and more intense as far as catastrophic. On average, you get anywhere from a half inch to 1.5 to 2 inch size hail on average, and now the hail is anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. I mean, it's just been insane. The size of the hail, so it's more destructive, and this is all across the U.S. This is not just, and it's been predominantly up in the Midwest, in the Midwest states, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, and those parts of the country have been seeing literally a lot more hail. But a lot of that hail we get down south is actually going up north now.
Yeah.
And it's really been catastrophic. And a lot of these contractors are really, are they're getting a lot of work because that side of the hill is hardly ever hits up north. But it's been normal, which is really amazing just to see the size of the hill. And they recently had 6-inch hail in Missouri. I mean, that's bigger than a grapefruit. That really kill you.
Yeah, I've got a friend that had just bought a brand new Toyota Camry in Kentucky, and it beat the heck out of the top of the car.
Yeah, and it's getting more and more worse. And they were saying because of El Nino and weather patterns, and a lot of things have changed worldwide as far as the weather patterns.
Yeah.
So it's creating more violent weather, and a lot of this weather, which is normally Tornado Alley, which is Texas straight up, is now shifting to the east, which is hitting Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and these parts of the country, up into the Midwest and farther, to the East Coast. But it's pretty amazing just how catastrophic this hail is, and the frequency and the size of this hail. And of course, a lot of it's associated with tornadoes too.
I interviewed a woman the other day. She's from Oregon, and she said that she monitors those New Age channels, and they've all been saying the same thing lately about a catastrophic event that's going to be this summer. And she said it's going to start on the west coast, Cascadias there, and then it would float to the middle to the New Madrid line. Have you heard anything about all this?
Yeah, yes, I have. I don't know exactly what, but I'm hearing this from various weather reports, and as far as I don't know if it's going to be some kind of a perfect storm situation or what, but I've been hearing the same thing. Especially with the summer kicking in and El Nino picking up, I heard it's going to come in from the west coast and towards the mid-central valley, so Midwest.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but it's supposed to be some kind of catastrophic storm. And I would not doubt it. This is all geoengineered.
Yeah,
because they can't control the weather, and they have for the last 70+ some odd years.
Yeah, for real on that. Now, what do you, since you're out there traveling, what do you see as the vibe as far as how people are handling Trump? Because I'm noticing a lot more people are waking up now that he did all that on Easter and all that.
Yeah, a lot of people are waking up to it. I wouldn't say a whole lot because the people that are really in regards that support Trump will support Trump at any cost, at any means. But the ones that are waking up, that believe in truth, integrity, and honesty, are waking up. I've had probably 4 or 5 friends of mine that were staunch Trump supporters that are waking up and now really seeing for what he is. And it's either you're sheep or goat or wheat or tear at this point. You're either wise or foolish virgin. But I'm praying to God to wake these people up, because he is literally destroying the world.
You
and
know
he is
what,
such a
Dewey?
habitual liar.
When I interviewed you the last time, it actually was last year, because we talked about the pole shift that actually happened last July 4th. And look at all the stuff that's happened since then, like Charlie Kirk, what a farce that was.
Yeah.
And all the other crazy things that's happened just within this past year.
Yeah, and like I told you last year, it's probably been close to a year or so, even before that, back in May, that you're going to see the no-hide law. Like I said, it's going to be the death of the world.
Yeah.
So it's going to be catastrophic here in the future.
Well, let me tell you this, talking about the no-hide laws. Next weekend, President Trump is asking everyone to observe Shabbat for the weekend. At the same time, he is having a dedication of the country to God.
Yeah, and people are just falling for that, false Christian persona. But, we all know the truth, the agenda behind it. Like I said, it was the religious sect that persecutes Jesus, and it's going to be the religious sect that persecutes the true remnant Christians in the end times.
That is true.
And we will see that. We will see that.
Yeah. Well, what can you warn us about right now? What are you hearing from God? What's your warning?
Technology is going to get increasingly more and more, things getting more and more technologically advanced. Like I say, I believe that we are in the stage of, with the AI. They're building AI data centers all over the U.S., and a lot of these are being built in Louisiana, and which people don't realize. That is the beast system there that which is going to eventually control every aspect of every human being.
For a fact,
So,
yeah.
So, but it's the AI. This it's really the AI is good to nothing in my regards. In regards to humanity, I mean, all it's going to be the controlling element that's going to dictate your life and of total control.
Yeah.
And it's coming. It's here. It's just a matter of being implemented.
Well, you know, when you think about Louisiana, you think about all of their water there that they have there.
Correct. That's like one thing. Reason they had it.
Yeah, exactly.
They chose Louisiana as a main area for the data centers. And these data centers are a good thing. Some of these data centers take up 7,000-8,000 acres. I mean,
Yes,
not feet or square feet, but thousands of acres.
Yeah.
So this could be catastrophic in the future. So,
right. Well, is there anything else you want to tell us? You got the floor.
Yeah, just draw close to the Lord, and just really try to wake your friends that are asleep in regards to what's going on with Trump and his agenda. I believe because it's diabolical. America is Mr. Babylon. You will see no high laws which will take hold here in America. Through the evangelicals as well as through the Catholics and through every other religion, and that very well could be the one world religion is the no high laws, because that's what's going to be enforced in America and throughout the world.
Yes, that is correct.
So people research that. My advice would be to research and find out as much as you can, and just keep abreast of it. Because I promise it will have an effect on every person on the planet.
Yes, that's true. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time, because I know you're working.
Thank you, Dr. Jamie. Take care. I'll keep you posted. Like I said, I've been all over the U.S. I really haven't seen much in the way of ICE, these airports, or the TSA, but nothing out of the norm. But I'll keep you posted if anything changes like that.
Yes,
I'll be in
please
California
do.
next week and Florida, but I'm traveling all over the U.S. and getting to see every state in the country. And I think the Lord's got me out there to be a barometer of what's going on.
Yes, I believe that. I sure do.
So, but I'll post if I have to find anything or hear anything, and
All right,
what's
sir.
going on.
All right, have a good day.
You too. God bless you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so now that you heard that, let's go back to President Trump. But notice the warning that he had about the hell, because he's been traveling all over the country and he's noticing how big the hell is getting and how dangerous it is. So let's go back at what Trump and see what he's saying about releasing the aliens.
Love you. But we want to thank you for being here. Mother's Day is one of the great days. I always think so fondly of my mother. I had a wonderful mother. Among those with us this afternoon are a number of the angel moms who saw their precious children stolen from them by the open border policies of the radical left. Open borders, I call them stupid borders, not open. I call them stupid borders by stupid people that put them there. And the migrant criminals that let them pour into our country, and bad things happened. Bad things happened. 25 million people came into our country. Many of them were criminals. Many of them were murderers. They allowed them in with their open border policy of stupidity. These incredibly brave and resilient women have turned terrible tragedy into unyielding resolve, becoming advocates so that their mothers do not have to endure the same heartache that they've felt all their lives. They felt for so long. They've raised the most beautiful child, and it's taken, and they've spent so many years. In many cases, I see some of you I've known you for years, and others are unfortunately new members of that club. And I say unfortunately, it's a sad thing. Should have never happened. Should have never happened. In their honor, we've rapidly turned the worst and most dangerous border in the history of our country into the strongest border in American history. We have no people come in during the last 11 months. We have zero. Nobody even tries to come up. You used to read about the thousands of people that would pour in and they'd just come up in caravans. I think it was my name I came up with. It looked like a caravan. 25, 30,000 people pouring up. They walk through Mexico. They come from all different locations. Come from all over the world, actually. But they came in through our southern border. They'd come up and just let them walk in. They'd walk in. Nobody had any idea who they were. They were murderers. 11,888 murderers. They were allowed to come into our country. We've gotten a lot of them out. Many of them murdered more than one person. What a shame. What a disgusting shame. That people can even think that this is okay is pretty incredible. But for the past 12 months, that's been our number. These numbers are done by people that the numbers when I say zero, I actually mean zero. It's hard to believe.
Hey,
actually.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But they're done by people that they tend to be somewhat on the left, so they're not going to give us a fair shake. And they say that people don't come anymore because they know they're not going to get through. So when they know they're not going to get through, they just don't come. And just so that we save a lot of lives, because that journey up from Honduras and El Salvador and lots of other countries, or from the Congo, where they drop them in there and they walk up and they come through our country. They emptied the prisons of the Congo into the area of the southern border and then told them to the southern border.
Talking about the Congo, I had a guy invite me to come preach at his women's conference. And the conference is located in Africa. Kenya, Africa. So I
There are
looked it
police
up to
reported
see
ahead.
what is required. And they said that you have to have yellow fever vaccine. And I was like, what a farce. So I replied to the guy and said, I won't be able to come because we do not believe in vaccines over here. I refuse to get jabbed like that. And I mean any vaccine, because for us, me and my house, I can't tell anybody else what to do or anything. But as for me and my house, we just don't believe it. And so, we just won't do it. And I know a lot of preachers, they say they got the COVID shot because they wanted to preach the gospel. But I just believe there's a line you have to draw. When it comes to letting the beast in, you shut the door. I mean, I can minister on video, And talking about video, me and Dewey was talking about this on video. I do wish I could go to Africa. I've always wanted to go to Africa. I wish it was possible. But anyway, he was talking about how, banks are that the alien thing, the alien agenda, they're using this to say everything you have to have a picture of you on everything, biometrics. But I told him that I've come to the realization of something, and especially for me, my face is everywhere. And I believe everybody's face is everywhere. We can't hide the video, them taking a picture of us or a video, because like right now, even being on the road, they're taking video and pictures of me. We got the flock cameras. If you go in any store, if you go in a church now, if you go in a hospital now, they are taking pictures. So I don't see any different from that than what they're doing there. Now, there is a line that I draw on that as well. Okay? In other words, you can have the outside, but you're not coming in.
There are police reported ahead.
You're not coming in, But anyway, I will not, and I refuse to do a retina scan where it's like a deep x-ray of my eyeball. I will refuse that. But, You can take a picture of me, a video. I'm already out there. I don't care. As far as fingerprints go, me being a White House correspondent, I had to do all that stuff anyway. You know, because of going in the White House, I have to provide all that anyway. You know, an FBI check. If you have ever, you know, got a job where they did an FBI check, they had to take your fingerprints. So, I don't see anything wrong with that. So, your only options there as far as but another thing that I do draw the line on is Web3. Going in the blockchain, I will refuse that. I do not want to go in there. So, okay, let's go back and listen to the president. Here we go.
And then told them to just walk in because stupid Americans are going to accept you beautifully. And these were hard, mean, vicious criminals they allowed into our country. How anybody can vote for these people is hard to believe, okay? It's hard to believe. Marianne Mendoza. Marianne, where are you, Marianne? I got to know you right from the beginning, right? And I won't ask her that, but I would often ask, is it easier with time? Because time has gone by. Marianne, no? It's
Checkpoint
not.
Charlie.
Sadly,
Right
it's
there,
not. You know, you always
Checkpoint
hear it with time, but a lot of people say it's not. It's not easier. But you're a special woman. I've gotten to be a friend of yours. You're a special woman. What you have to go through is disgraceful. Tammy Nobles. Tammy, are you here? Tammy Nobles. Right. Does time help, Tammy? No. It used to be. You know, time heals all wounds, right? But it doesn't when you love it doesn't help like it should. Jacqueline Medina, a great person. Where is Jacqueline?
I'm on fast forward to see if he even gets.
There are police reported ahead.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. And so many others that I want to thank you for coming. And I don't think you've been treated properly. It's hard to believe, but the angel moms have not been treated properly. But this president treats you properly. Beautiful. They played music. They said yes, and I was going to do just to stop by and say hello. And we ended up listening to music for 4 hours.
Is he going to talk about it or what?
In London, $10 for a pill would cost $130 for a pill in the United States. And now, if it's $10, or that's what we pay the lowest price anywhere in the world. So it's great. And the fake news doesn't want to write about it, but learn for everyone. We don't have that. It's important. You have the there is in America or any place else, and you're doing an incredible job. I just want to wish you all a very happy Mother's Day. We're going to have a great Mother's Day, and for those mothers that lost their child, many of whom are with us today, the angel moms and others, Gold Star moms, we love you especially. We love you maybe even the most. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Well, I guess that's it. I guess he wasn't going to use this opportunity to talk about the aliens. But I just want to confirm to you guys that Perry Stone, I showed it on the news yesterday, where he told the world that the government met with several of the evangelicals to talk to them about the alien agenda and how that's going to affect Christianity. So what I see is, I think it's going to bring chaos to the earth and chaos to the church, because especially the warning goes to truthers, people that go down rabbit trails all the time. You know, it may hurt them if they start believing the propaganda. So in other words, I see it as a bunch of propaganda. So just plead the blood of Jesus over you and your household. So let me get off here. So I'm going into Nashville, so I'm going to need to focus. So I will talk to you guys later.